family. So this video is the first chapter of a series of videos that come from a study that I call X. The study is quite an elaborate study, and I didn't want to, present this in a documentary, so it would be such a long video. So I'm breaking it up in chapters. Please watch the chapters in succession. So if you start at chapter 3, you may miss something that was presented in chapter 1 and chapter 2. So please watch them in succession because they'll include information that you'll need to know in the next chapter. This is a collaboration of a lot of studies into one, so you may see information from previous videos presented in this, but it's presented for a reason. But I just want to thank you guys for supporting our channel. So without further ado, here's the video, first chapter of X.
With artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Didn't work out. That's in Memphis, actually.
It's in Memphis?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's where you were?
Yeah.
I see.
Memphis,
okay.
The capital of ancient Egypt.
Right. Yeah, you're bringing what?
Perhaps that's where our new God will come from.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, I wish that was funny. Yeah, okay, so
Bereshith, Genesis 2:2. And in the seventh day Elohim completed his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Elohim blessed the seventh day and set it apart, because on it he rested from all his work which Elohim in creating had made.
Notice that this is the seventh day, the day of rest. This is allegorical of the 7,000th year when he returns to the earth, the end of the 6,000th year, the era of man. The reason he returns is for the same reason he returns in this chapter, for he commands Adam, and this is the first covenant, which can be expressed by aleph, tav. Aleph means first, and tav means covenant. Bereshith, Genesis 2:16. And Yahuwah Elohim commanded the man, saying, Eat of every tree of the garden, but do not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die.
The word for death in this passage is Strong's 4191, muth, which means to die, to kill, and be dead. This word is spelled Mem Ua Tav. Mem Ua Tav means nations of men end, because the letter Tav, which is in the shape of an X, means the end, as in I am the aleph and the tav, the beginning, aleph, and the end, tav. Now in the passage where it says, surely, This word is made by adding tav to the beginning of the word death, meaning you shall surely die. Notice it says death twice. Mut tamut. You shall die, shall surely die. The word surely die is the word mut with tav added to the beginning. Tav represents a mark now surrounding the nations of men. This also means an end surrounding the nations of men. I am the aleph and the tav, the beginning and the end. X.
Now Eve, whose real name is Kuah, ate of the forbidden fruit. She ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And Eve, Kuah, represents all of the living, all of mankind. Now, Eve saw that the tree was good for food. How did she see it? How did she see that the tree was good? She was presented all the benefits that it would give her, right? She saw it was desirable. The word kamad here, desirable, means to covet. To covet, to take pleasure in, to covet. Same word used in Exodus, that you shall not covet your neighbor's anything, right? Now, the word it says to make one wise is sakal, which means intelligent. She saw that the tree would make her intelligent, but not the human intelligence that she was gifted with by Elohim, but the intelligence to be like Elohim, like the serpent told her. You will be like the Most High. You'll be like Elohim to know good and evil. But that is why all of the false deities that you see out here, Asheroth, Astarte, Ishtar, Inanna, Venus, Aphrodite, and Frigg, are all called goddesses, because they represent mankind who has committed adultery by being deceived into eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. All of these false deities are always shown naked, because the technology that is placed inside of man, willingly or unwillingly, will read man's thoughts. This is being done right now using artificial intelligence. But this is demonic, for these are not Elohim, they are demons. For it is written in Deuteronomy 32:16 verse through 17, they moved him to jealousy with foreign, strange gods, with the abominations, and they provoked him to anger. They sacrificed to demons, not Eloha, mighty ones who came lately, which your fathers did not reverence. This abomination being placed inside man separates man from the father, separating the wife from the husband, and by adultery causing a divorce. This is called the falling away. Paul used this word in 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no one deceive you in any way, because the falling away is to come first, and the man of lawlessness is to be revealed, the son of destruction. The word for falling away in this passage is apostasy, Strong's 646, which means rebellion, defection, and to forsake, because this abomination causes Yahuwah to forsake man. This word is from the same word as Strong's 647, apostation, which means a bill of divorce. See, the mark is multi-dimensional. It is pharmakeia. Now, when the letters chi, xi, stigma are stacked on top of each other, they form this shape. This shape is what we commonly see as the symbol for pharmacy. You see the serpent wrapped around the tree, the same serpent that is in the garden. that deceived Eve into taking the technology. Now, when you take Chazai stigma, and it says in Revelation that you should calculate the number, there's a formula called Euler's principle for a polyhedron, or Euler's principle for the letter chi. So the letter chi is x. Now, if chi is x, then the formula V minus E plus F is a formula for the letter chi. First of all, what is a polyhedron? A polyhedron is a multi-faced shape. Poly in Greek means many, and hedron means base or seat. So it's many-sided. Now, if you take the letter chi, that's x, and you plug it into this formula, you'll see chi equals V minus E plus F. Now, we know in the letters chi, xi, stigma, the next letter is xi. So V equals xi. And then stigma is equal to two letters, sigma plus tav. If you plug those numbers and what they equal in Greek into this formula, you'll get the answer of x equals 160. And in Greek, that is rho xi. P-E, it looks like P-E in English. Now, rho xi is Rx, the symbol for pharmacy. Now, notice that the answer also is x equals 160. The Greek letters is rho xi. Well, what is the shape of the 160? So it's a polyhedron with 160 vertices. That is a dodecahedron. Now, a dodecahedron just so happens to be in the shape of RNA. Now, they call this stuff messenger RNA. Now, who is the messenger? Hashatan is the messenger. The serpent is a messenger. There's another image of it. DNA, RNA, dodecahedron. Now, this is Chazai stigma backwards. You can see the 23x. If you place it in a mirror, you're going to see this. This is Chazai stigma here. This is 23x. You can see it in there, 23x. There just so happen to be 23 chromosomes in the human body, and they are in the shape of an X. Now, what affects those? Messenger RNA. Notice the letter Gain fits into this as well. Gain is in the shape of twisted ropes. Just as the twisted ropes. DNA is twisted. Alright, 23x, Gain Tav, the wicked covenant. Alright, that's what Gain means. It's the 23rd letter. The fallen letter. Twisted, dark, wicked, evil, afflict. It is the left eye to Ayin. The Ayin Ra, if you will. Now, 23x. Also, if x is the letter x in Roman is a number 10. If it is added to it, it equals 33. But we'll get into that later in this series. The number of the beast, as many know, can also be expressed by the number 666. This is the letter Ua, the sixth letter, and represents man. For it is man trying to exalt himself to be like the Most High that brings about all of the curse. Also, it represents the three nails that holds man to the abomination, to the cursed tree. A covenant that binds man to be in an agreement. And finally, the word Vav represents the hooks that holds the veil, two on the outside and one in the middle. A veil that separates man from the Father. The act of Yahusha splits the veil. Satan wants to achieve the opposite of that. He achieves his goal by little compromises through his subtle craftiness. Did Elohim really say you could not eat of all of the trees? OnStar, we're here to help. He doesn't introduce the trap, he introduces solutions. He shows a helpless woman on the side of the road. How can she get help? OnStar, of course. Now GPS is on every car and can track you wherever you go. Eve, seeing the benefit, took a bite of the fruit called bait.